Hey guys, welcome back to Fair Ironing Customs. I'm Michael. We're back out here on the F1 making these kick panels, and right now I'm just putting Clecos in it so that whenever I get ready to put it back on the truck, it goes back in the same location. I've made it a little higher here so the panel would come higher. We're going to take and reshape this just a little bit. Probably not much, just enough to get that shard of metal out of there. And we're going to chop out the other side. We're going to get both sides done, and then I'm going to start making the frame for the floor. I may go ahead and paint these panels tonight. I do intend on having that done in this video. But tonight is really cold. Tomorrow is going to be a warmer day, so we'll be able to get them in tomorrow, installed tomorrow, and hopefully get the frame for the floor installed in the truck tomorrow so we can start chopping out that back section. So we're jumping into it. All right, guys, I've got this cleaned up. Went ahead and started drilling holes. One of my Clecos landed in one of the holes, so we'll just drill it. We're welding it in. What I wanted to show y'all, if y'all haven't seen me use this before, this is like a tool for hemming panels. You can put a piece of sheet metal in here and squeeze it, and it will put a break in the panel. It'll like jog it down so you can slip one panel over another if you were going to do like what is it called, the hemming panels, is that right? Can't remember. But if you were to lay a panel over the top of another one, when you'd want to jog in it so that, or you'd want to jog in the one underneath so that it was a smooth surface. A lot of guys do the cut and butt. The other thing this thing does is it has a hole punch on it. And we're just going to go down the side that's going to be right up against the A-pillar post. And we are going to punch some holes. It's a whole lot faster than drilling. I like this machine for this, or this little tool for this. I've had it for probably well over 30 years. And like I said, I've probably not used it a terrible amount. You can't drill holes that fast, guys. There's no way you can drill holes that fast. So I had to drill these over here because I can't get, that's as deep as the panel punch will go, is about a 1/4 inch, about 3/8 of an inch, and then leave you about a 1/8 to a 1/4 of an inch of hole, edge to your hole. So the next thing I need to do, as you'll see, I marked the edge of this panel while it was in there. We want to put just, I put those holes at the top. It's probably a good thing that we're going to put something over that. I should probably pay attention to what I'm doing instead of paying attention to the camera. Anyway, so I got to punch a couple of holes in the body. I'm going to weld the top outside, so I made a couple of marks where I want to punch some holes because there's already holes here. So let me do that, and we'll come back in a few minutes. Okay, guys, like I said, I'm a little upset over making that mistake, but, we're going to roll with it. So what I've done is I've made a mark where I want to make this bend, and it's got to bend towards the inside of the panel. So this is a mark on the outside of the panel. The bend needs to go this way. And I'm just going to my tightest radius. Thankfully, it's the one that's facing out in my pipe manifold. And I think something like that will probably be. I'm liking that. I'm seriously liking that. So I left myself, some area here, right here, because if we'd have bent it here, we'd have went all the way into here. I mean, there would have been other ways we could have bent that, but that's simple. When we get ready to build the inner floor section, we'll be able to build off of this, and we'll get into that whenever that time comes. Okay, guys, so when you're using a deep throated shrinker, you want to kind of give yourself, I could have probably cut it a little closer than that. It's easier to cut along the line if you leave yourself kind of a little waste. And something else that I found is to cut and stop before you get to the end of the cut. If you snip all the way through and try to make it cut again, it will kind of leave a jagged edge. So, and we're going to go just right along the line on this. No struggle here. I'm probably putting just, 10 to 15 pounds of pressure on this handle, maybe. I think honestly we would have had better luck if we'd have cut it the other way. It's kind of trying to wrap up on this side. Cut that off. I want to cut through. Like I said, this causes some waste, and I know there's guys that are like, big about waste, and I guess we should all be concerned about conserving as much of our steel as possible. But to me, this is quieter. It doesn't make as much of a mess. It's faster. It doesn't aggravate me near as much as uses the grinder does. I think that's probably the most important thing. And the grinder really doesn't aggravate me that much. Like I said, it's just messy and noisy. Says the guy who has a messy shop. Sorry guys, y'all cannot see what I'm doing. And that's all I did to cut out the other one. And this is just like anything else. The more you use it, the better you're going to get at using it. I'm getting more proficient at it every day. So I'm going to clean up this panel a little bit. We're going to get it fitted to the right side. Then we'll get the right side and the left side caught up. And we'll go from there. All right, guys. So I got both of those panels made. They're hanging over in the paint booth drying. It's really cold, so I don't expect them to dry until sometime tomorrow. That'll be fine. I'll come in and weld them in. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow, and that should be right about now. All right, guys, we're back at it. So I kind of made a mistake last night. Instead of painting the inside of the kick panel, I painted the outside of the kick panel. So I'm been letting them kind of dry up a little bit. What I wanted to show y'all, I say this is something that Mike at my car shop, I want to say he's may have had it on one of his videos, is to clean out the holes, the plug weld holes for the plug welds. You blunt a drill bit off flat and just, and that'll clean all the paint off pretty quick. So I got the Miller 35 cooking over here. I do need to move it down to one range on the heat. So we got it stuck in a 3. Guys, this welder's as old as I am. I've got this weld is close. This weld is also close, but I'll have to move the pliers to get to it. When I get that one plugged in, we'll probably go on and pull this Cleco out. I may grab another pair of pliers, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right in the center and then spin my way out to get as good a weld on that as I can get it. What it's going to do is it's going to also make it flat at the same time. I got to get a better pinch on that. I may need to go ahead and just get a regular set of pliers. Trying to make sure the pliers ain't in the way. I'm trying to get this. I need a different stand, guys. I'm trying to get the weld to lay down in here. I'll try to give y'all as best a vantage point as I can. I can't hold the camera and weld 2. This is where we're welding. Okay. Heat turned up on this. Okay, I made that a little bigger and uglier than I wanted it to because I totally missed the hole. But I use this because it's hot. It's hotter than the other welder, and it's got 40 thousandths wire in it. So I'm like I said, concentrating my weld on the center of the hole, and then just filling it in as quickly as I can. So it'll try to lay the weld out as flat as possible. Guys, I'm gonna do these, and I'll pop back inside the truck and we'll do a couple more. Okay, guys, so I've turned the welder back a little bit, and we put it on setting number 2. And that's much better. If you see, it's almost laid flat. You won't have to do a whole lot of cutting to get that off. Okay, guys, I got that one tacked in place, or spot welded in place, and I got this one spot welded in place, and I've already started working on the floorboard. So we put this at our 6-inch mark in the front and our 6-inch mark in the back, and I went ahead and split it. I wanted to leave it a little long because our front, the toe board runs. It doesn't end right here. The toe board doesn't start here. It starts about 3 inches in. So we're going to need a little. God, guys, that looks a little short, don't it? Only build stuff to the extreme. Okay, guys. I got the bottom welded in. And got to that corner, ran out of welding gas. I'll probably finish it off with the flux core welder so we can keep moving on tomorrow. Sometime before the weekend, I'll run out and get the bottle filled. Like and subscribe. I will see y'all on, this is Thursday's video? Saturday. And then, let's see, we'll have the video. Monday will be a truck video. And then Wednesday will probably be, I'm thinking about going ahead on Sunday of this week, which will make Wednesday's video, and get the boat out and get the bottom cut out of it, because we've got to get that done so that me and Mrs. Howell can go, kayaking later on when the weather gets nicer. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a great day.